Good morning, everyone. Happy Labor Day if you're in the U.S. I hope you have a good time. You go enjoy yourself and have some fun. And really, I guess it's sort of soak in and say goodbye to summer and let's get ready for the rest of the year. So, just a real quick update. Obviously, the markets are closed today in the U.S., but that doesn't mean there's not financial information going on. And a couple things sort of caught my attention. First off, it appears that Tesla has secured a exemption from the 10% purchase tax that China has. I think this is interesting. Reading the article, they're the only independent company to get the waiver. Most of the organizations that got it are kind of joint ventures between China and other manufacturers, which I found interesting. Basically, the exemption, if you read it, is really going after companies that are investing in alternative energy and the like. So makes total sense that Tesla got it. I will admit to being kind of jaded, and I wonder how long before maybe there's a Tesla only tariff. I don't know. Hopefully, nothing like that happens. But again, as a jaded individual who's seen this go back and forth, somebody gives something, somebody takes something away. So I wonder if we're hours or days or weeks away from a Tesla specific tariff. But we will see what happens going forward. The other area that I think was interesting is it looks like Argentina, the currency collapsed their peso. It's not going away. They just implemented some currency controls over the weekend, trying to keep capital in so people can't dump the peso for other things that aren't deteriorating. This is what happens when the population loses faith in the currency, right? We're kind of watching that happen. It's happened, lots of times over generations. I think the Zimbabwe currency is the one that is often quoted, where people would just, a wheelbarrow full of, I forget what theirs was called, but basically they would dump the currency and keep the wheelbarrow is the joke. So it's it's not going away. Thus far, everything I've read, it's relatively contained. I don't expect it to be relatively contained. I can't see how a large country like Argentina can't have at least some ripple effects throughout South America. I don't know if it's big enough to cause global ripples, but to think that it can stay inside its own borders is probably naive. So I'm waiting for the other shoe to drop. I know they're doing everything they can. Obviously, the government's incented to take care of their people and rebuild that faith. So we'll see. We'll see where that goes, but definitely don't forget about, don't get lost that we have something going on in South America in addition to everything else going around the world, because all of this can impact currency and interest rates, and it's all interrelated, interconnected. So we have to watch that. Got an update on Europe. Again, the markets in U.S. are closed, but Europe's open for business. It looks like this is kind of a weird one. It's less bad, right? They talked about their manufacturing still quote unquote shrinking, but not shrinking as bad. This is when you start splitting hairs. People are trying to call a bottom. Again, I think that's naive. I do think that you would just logically think Europe manufacturing would do better if the two largest manufacturers are you butting heads. You think they would get you think they'd see an uptick. At least that's what I would think, because it's got to come from somewhere. So you would think Europe would win there. So I thought that was interesting. And then again, I saw a Ray Dalio quote or topic. Again, Ray Dalio, and Warren Buffett are two guys I follow and often click on their links. Um, this one was around Ray Dalio highlighting don't let fast talkers bulldoze you. I found that interesting, especially in today's environment when you think about real estate investing. I don't know what it is, and maybe it's just because I'm looking, but just in the last 10, 20 days, I've seen a lot of the quote unquote gurus, flip TV, people purporting to have Saturday workshops and 3 days this and 3 days that. It's starting to feel a lot like '06, where people that were moderately successful during the seller's market, which was easy, now realize we're at the top and they're trying to do something else. So I think there's a lot of fast talkers out there, and if they're just trying to bulldoze you, you need to realize, and the thing that Ray talks about is you're most susceptible to a fast talker if you're worried about appearing uninformed, right? If you're not sure of yourself, if you're, I don't know, if it's afraid or nervous to ask questions and push back, it's pretty easy to get a fast talker to kind of bulldoze you. Again, this is Ray Dalio speaking. He talked about it in his book. Um, so watch out for that, right? If you get those slicksters, the run to the back of the room, folks, be wary, right? There are no secrets in real estate investing. There are some methods and some things you should do for sure, but there are no secrets. It's you know, you need to buy right. You need to be conservative. You need to hold for the long term. Right, it's everything we talked about in our book. This is not a business that predominantly won by people who look at short money. Short money is money that's earned in days, weeks, months, right? This is about long term, right? And if you watch me, I talk in decades. So realize that's what we're talking about. Don't get susceptible to the fast talkers. There's a lot of them on YouTube these days that are, oh, watches me, and look at my car, look at my plane, look at all these things. So be careful. This is the time to learn for sure, right? Learn what's going on, figure out what so you can know what's on sale in your market. So I thought Ray's feedback was interesting. So again, that's what I have for today. I look forward to what tomorrow brings, and have a great Labor Day if you're in the U.S. Take care. Bye.